All right, listen to students. This is a bit tricky. So, I was debating, should I label this course listen to students, but also don't listen to students? Um, it's a little bit tricky. So, I'm going to try to put some text below so that if my video is unclear, you can at least read the text. As I did mention, I'm creating, this course was created in 3 days. And in that 3 days, this course wasn't the only thing I worked on. I spent um, about 4 hours on the first day, 4 hours on the second day, and then this video, all the videos I created in this course were done in about 4 or 5 hours. So, but I felt like, I reached that state. I tried to create this course many times before. I just wasn't able to reach that state. It just wasn't coming naturally. But I felt like 2 days ago it started flowing and it was the right time to create a course. So I'm trying to create it when I'm still in that zone. Now, listening to the students, you got to listen on some, and on some things you just shouldn't listen. Okay, let me clarify what I mean. You gotta empathize with them, right? You gotta know where they're, how they're feeling, what gap they're having, what they're struggling with. If they're struggling, hey, be generous with your time. Go in and go to the whiteboard. What you should not do ever, in my opinion, is say, let me take over your computer and let me find out what's going on. That is a disaster. You're doing such a huge damage to the students' confidence. You're basically robbing their ability to learn and connect the dots. You're also robbing everyone else the opportunity to share what they have learned and verbalize what they have learned. And to really internalize these concepts, you're robbing everyone else. Don't be a thief, is what I used to teach to my instructors at Coding Dojo. Don't be a thief. Don't rob what could be someone else's precious learning opportunity or sharing opportunity by taking away their keyboard and you showing them exactly how to do it. That is what bad teachers do, and you're not a bad teacher. You're a good teacher, right? So if you're a good teacher, you listen, you empathize, you go to the whiteboard and you try to help them there. You don't just to help that student, you say, hey, who else? I'm going to do a special session on X, Y, and Z. Anyone else want to join? All right. So you're genuinely spending time. And basically, what are you doing? You're finding gap in the curriculum, right? And you're discovering better ways to teach. Maybe you're discovering that some of the assignments are not as effective as what you thought. So you're getting data points. So that's where you should listen, right? And during those sessions, you can ask questions. So you can say, hey, look, you can say, Mark, I know you watched all the videos in the platform, right? If they didn't, I say, well, why don't you, Mark, watch the videos and then let me know if you still can't do the assignments, right? So I send them back, right? I don't take them, 0 to 1 should be done through the platform. The teaching needs to be done through the platform. And then I take them and say, okay, Mark, I know you watch the videos, but I want to just really understand in your own words, answers to these questions. I'm just going to ask you, don't feel bad if you don't know the answers to this. Just do your best, and that will help me see what I could have done or what was missing in the curriculum. So I'm not going to be judgmental. I'm just going to ask you a few questions. So in your own words, Mark, explain to me about concept A, or explain to me about B, explain to me about C. Okay, so why is it a bad idea to do X, Y, and Z? Okay, so you try to have them teach, you kind of share. So that way you get data points on, okay, were you able to deliver your points across effectively? Sometimes you find that you did, but it was something else that was really not clicking. So now you know what to add in the curriculum. Sometimes you find that it was the thing in the platform that was confusing them. So you get the answer, you're like, oh, that's interesting. Why do you say that? And you find out it was something you mentioned in the platform. Maybe it was the need to know. Maybe it was the no need to know. Or maybe it was in the must to know concept, but you explained it kind of in a way that caused a lot of confusion. So those are the things that you should listen, get data points. And then you help the students and then you go and update the platform. Always teach through the platform is what I mean. The platform needs to be the main way, especially if you're the course creator, for them to get the initial learning. And the live class is a way for you to get data points, to get, to uncover new winning, pathways, new winning analogies that can really help the students. But, that's what you should do. Never take away their keyboard. there are always exceptions to never rules. So when do I take away the keyboard? This is usually what I do if I'm teaching a live class. Okay, so someone is struggling. So I say, okay, well, let me first understand, because if I just turn them away right away, they feel neglected, and I don't want them to feel neglected. So I listen, and I'm like, okay, I think I understand what you're going through, okay, or what you're having challenges with. Okay, and I say, is there anyone else? Um, is there anyone here who thinks they can solve this? Sometimes I know where all the students are, so I have people volunteer. So I say, hey, Sarah, why don't you come in? And Mark is having this issue. I know you finished this assignment. Sarah, why don't you see if you can help Mark? Because then I'm giving Sarah an opportunity to verbalize and share and increase confidence. Because when Sarah, she may have finished the assignment, but she may feel kind of not that confident. But by helping someone else, her confidence grows. She's verbalizing what she has learned. So that concept is really being internalized. Everyone benefits in that scenario. And I'm just there, right there next to them. I don't do the talking because Sarah's the one who's doing the talking. And I see Sarah level up to another level. I see Mark level up. And merely I was the facilitator, right? Sometimes, let's say Sarah couldn't do it. Well, I get someone else. And maybe I just get 3 or 4 people and then say, I think you guys can figure it out. And I just observe. And sometimes, what I do is then I say, okay, I let them struggle. 90% of the time, they're able to figure things out. Sometimes, in a rare case, they can't. But it's a good data point. I found out, oh, there was this gap. I probably could have explained things better in the platform, right? Well, so you explain it to them either on the whiteboard. Sometimes it's technical. It's in the code level. If it is a concept level, you take them to the whiteboard. If it's at a code level, sometimes what I do is I just say, somewhere around here. Just really, really pay attention, somewhere around here. So I never tell them line 47. I just say somewhere around here. And I just show them kind of a block of area I want them to focus. And say, you guys can do it. I'm again being the facilitator, right? And then I see them all level up, right? If I just took away the keyboard and then I didn't, who leveled up? My ego leveled up. Did anyone else level up? No. But by facilitating discussions that way, taking people to the whiteboard, taking a group of people to the whiteboard, I'm not just seeing one person level up, I'm seeing multiple people all level up. So after Mark leveled up and someone else is having that, trouble with that assignment, can you imagine how delighted Mark would be if Mark was then pulled over and saying, Mark, hey, I want you to help Karen over here. And I'm going to be right there with you. Don't worry. Why don't you spend 5 minutes and see if you can, help Karen out? And then almost 90% of the time, you will see Mark able to solve it, and he will beam. His confidence will grow. He will appreciate you as a teacher because you just gave him that opportunity to verbalize and level up. He's feeling more confident. He feels more connected with that peer. The energy in the classroom goes up. And did you actually directly help them technically? Did you solve the problem for them? You didn't. But did you help them? You did, right? You just didn't take away their keyboard and typed it for them, right? In my teaching career, when I look at, I think now I directly taught probably over 1,000 students now. When I look at, all those students, how many of them did I actually take the keyboard and show them? I always say probably less than handful where I did that. Almost always, I never had to do it because I could just get another peer and I celebrate with them. Once I put another person and then 5-person, sometimes I find out and sometimes they solve it and I'm like, yes, good job guys, good job, high five, and I give them high five and they feel good about themselves and everything is good. Sometimes they can't figure it out. I give them some hint and then they figure it out. I celebrate with them. A lot of times they get into that habit so much that I don't even have to facilitate anymore. They just go and help each other because it's that first interaction that's a little bit awkward, right? Oh, I don't know that person. It's a little bit, but once they have that high five moments, they're learning things, they will naturally go and get help. So sometimes I'm like, hey, Karen, can you go and help that person? Oh, I already did. And that's when you have a very effective classroom. That's why if you employ these techniques, it's way easier to teach a large classroom than when you have 5 students or 10 students. It's much, much easier when you have 30 people, 50 people, I would say even hundreds of people. You can use the same methodology where the energy just goes intensely higher with larger number of students you have, because it's just, yeah, it's interesting. It may be counterintuitive, but I've seen this work in Coding Dojo, where I put significantly less work when I'm teaching 35 students versus when I have 10. And the energy level is just so far different. When you have a large classroom, there are more people, they can connect, more learning opportunities that are generated all the time, and that momentum and the high energy just feeds upon each other. And my goal is to, I would love to create a course where it's being done in thousands, tens of thousands of people. And I think it is possible. I think it is possible. Although, smaller group also do have strong, very powerful advantage as well.